Welcome to our one viewer. We're here with Eric Myers and Ryan Lindley for tonight's Morton Junior High School baseball game. We're just waiting on some umpires right now.
Yeah, we are waiting for umpires, and we're going to get the starting lineups here in just a second. But Coach Myers, before we talk about this game, why don't you tell us a little bit about the 7th grade season? Obviously, you're helping coach the 7th grade team, and you were saying you obviously hit a win today, and the season's going really well.
Yeah, our team we're really mashing the ball hard right now at the 7th grade level. We haven't lost the game, currently undefeated. Had another big win tonight against Washington Middle. 10-0 in 5 innings. Great work on the mound by Carson Mitchell, the lefty.
Power wash dish spray.
Awesome. Sorry if you have some background noise. We're up here in the press box trying to get everything sorted. It's been a while since we've been up here, schedule-wise. But yeah, our team is doing real well. We had a big 8-3 win last night over East Peoria at Eastside Center. And our team is, I think our average run differential probably right now, Coach Lindley, is probably in the 10-11 range. Great pitching, giving up very little hits.
All right, we'll go ahead and introduce the starting lineups here. So here we go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Westwood Park. We are here tonight for the game between the Eureka Middle School Hornets and your Morton Junior Potters. At this time, let's meet the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Hornets. Leading off is the shortstop, number 10, Tegan McLaughlin. Batting second is the center fielder, number 28, Adam Blunier. Batting third, the catcher, number 11, Connell Roth. Batting in the cleanup spot for the Hornets, number 27, the third baseman, John Martin. Batting fifth is the pitcher, number 22, Brody Wirtz. Batting sixth, left fielder, number 29, Owen Kemp. And the seventh spot is the second baseman, number 20, Isaiah Weir. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 21, Keegan Myers. And batting ninth and playing first base, number 25, Devin Wiles. Now the starting lineup for your Morton Junior Potters. Leading off, the shortstop, number 7, Owen Adams. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 22, Isaac Benders. He is hitting for the first baseman, number 21, Gil Pochard. Batting third for the Junior Potters, wearing number 20, the catcher, Colin Burns. In the cleanup spot for the Potters, the pitcher, number 25, Cameron Crawford. Batting fifth is the left fielder, number 3, Sammy Hare. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 8, Camden Taylor. In right field, batting seventh, number 24, Andy Ballard. At third base, batting eighth, number 40, Alex McKee. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 18, Beck Powers. At this time, we ask that you please rise, face the flag. Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Well, there you go, folks. Tremendous rendition of the national anthem. And we're about ready for baseball. Coach Myers, I think we're still waiting for those umpires, though.
Yeah, I don't know where they're at. I was kind of looking out the window here, and here we go.
There you go. Sometimes those guys get criticized, and I'll admit I might occasionally be one of the criticizers, but you can't play the game without them. And we really do appreciate the folks who take their time to umpire or officiate any sport, really, because it's not an easy job. It may be the definition of a thankless job, to be quite honest.
Totally agree. Nobody likes to come out and get yelled at, so obviously, if you're watching from home, or even those of you standing over here in the sidelines, obviously practice great sportsmanship. Be a great example of role model for our children as they grow up in the world today. So yeah, good umpires. Should be a good game, right?
Yeah.
Great night for baseball.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night for baseball. We're happy to be here for our first live stream of the Junior Potters season. We're hoping to maybe do this again as the Junior Potters reach the postseason. We're talking, Coach Myers, with your great 7th grade season, but obviously the 8th grade team has been rolling as well. Only one loss thus far.
Yeah, only one loss against a really good Troy team in our own tournament that we hosted a couple weeks ago. But other than that, they've been kind of on fire. Cam Crawford on the mound tonight has been rocking and rolling. I think in his last outing, I believe he had a no-hitter. So let's hope we can keep that kind of going. In the game versus Canton on Tuesday, just go Cam again. Nice shot over those trees over there in left field. And game before that, same here, went out off the top of the fence in center. So Potter's bats have been rolling as of late.
Absolutely. Now, we don't know a ton about Eureka, but they come to this game 7-12, but you said it earlier, they're the regional hosts. This game is huge for regional seeding, kind of their Super Bowl.
Yeah, both teams want to come out and win this game. It could affect the seeding, and the Potters definitely want to be number one, having the easiest draw to the championship. But here we go.
First pitch to Tegan McLaughlin is a bit down. Like you said, Cam Crawford on the mound. Potter's defense plays McLaughlin pretty much straight away, shallow in the outfield, but again, I think the assumption is with the way Cam throws that the ball isn't going to be hit real hard. That one misses, and it'll be 2-0.
Yeah, a little bit inside. Alex McKee there at third base, also taking away the bunt, playing on the grass a little bit. Left-handed batter might be an opportunity to lay one down right out the gate, trying to sneak an early base runner on.
Here's the 2-0 on the way, and that one is swung on and missed. 2-1 now.
Yeah, definitely trying to get back ahead here.
Looks like Burns sets up inside. Here comes the pitch from Crawford. It's on the outside corner, but that works just as well. 2-2 now.
Hey, strike is a strike, right?
That's exactly it, right? Doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's in the strike zone.
As coaches, that's what we preach all day, every day. Ball over the plate.
Here comes that 2-2. That one is grounded toward McKee at third base. Fields it cleanly, up with it across the diamond, and that'll be the first out of the first inning.
Played that one pretty perfectly right there, right on the third base line. Good play to bring the hands down, bring it up and in, and throw across the diamond for out number 1 for the Potters.
Adam Blunier about to step to the plate. He's the center fielder for the Hornets.
Got quite a decent cheering section, both from fans and got a lot of 7th grade ball members down there, as well as some other junior high supporters.
Nice.
We'll go with that.
Nice. I like that. That's strike one, by the way, as Blunier swings and misses. So great crowd on a Thursday night, 7 p.m. start. We even have I'll call it our bleacher section. There's a bench out there in left center that some folks are sitting at.
Yeah. I think those would be the bleachers, right? Is that what we're going to go with?
Yeah, that's
we don't have any ivy. We don't have anything fancy out there,
but if somebody can hit one out there, it might be kind of fun to see the folks get a home run ball.
Yeah. It's like Mr. Benders is one of those people, so former college catcher, maybe he can catch one.
There you go. 1 and 2, by the way, is our count. It's like Colin Burns goes through a series of signs. Cam finds what he likes, nods, and delivers the 1-2. That one is flown towards shortstop or third base. It'd be McKee at third, who's going to take charge and make the catch. So Alex McKee handles both of the outs so far here in the top of the first.
Yeah. Pretty much, Potter's got 2 infield balls. One is just straight pop-up, laid on the fastball there. Got it straight up in the air, and he took charge. Under the lights here, Westwood Park.
There's Connell Roth, left-handed hitting catcher for the Hornets. Hornets have a number of lefties in their lineup. That one's a bit inside for ball 1. Actually hit him. Well, there you go. Hit by a pitch, so that'll be the first base runner of the ball game.
Yeah, it might have clipped his jersey, but you could see his footprints on the box. Like, he was standing right on top of that plate, so interesting adjustment right there.
John Morton, the third baseman, will come to the plate with a runner on. Very modest lead over there at first by Roth.
Yeah, I think they had the scouting report that Burns' arm's pretty good here. From home to second. Cam's going to keep him close over there as well.
Cam gives him a look. Nods, delivers. There he goes. Burns' throw is on target, but just a little bit short of the base, I think.
Yeah, and a little bit to the right there. Owen had to come across the bag and get it and then tag behind him. It's probably one of the more harder things to do, right, in baseball.
Yeah,
throw
I'd
it
say
accurate
so.
every single time.
Give Roth credit for stolen base, so the Hornets have a man in scoring position with 2 outs here in the first. And that one is a bit outside here. So I believe the count is actually 2-1, as Mike Wise, our umpire, will signal here. 1-1.
Yep. All right. 2-1.
Yeah.
Did it again. I think
St. Mike's making sure that the scoreboard is on target.
100%.
Here comes the pitch. That one is outside.
Sometimes you don't realize how many people actually pay attention to the scoreboard. Even me, like as a coach, I played in my head, but it's like, oh yeah, there's a scoreboard. So when you don't have it, it's like, uh-oh.
Here comes the line and the pitch. That one misses, so we go to a full count now, 3-2.
Full count, 2 outs. I don't think Cam wanted to lose his batter right here. Definitely don't want to put him on. Giving Eureka an early opportunity to get one on the board with a base hit.
Hornets making some noise in the dugout. They're getting excited. But there is strike 3, so we end the first with no runs, no hits, no errors, just one man left on as we head to the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Adams, Benders, and Burns due up for the Potters.
Yeah, perfect example. Cam throws him right there, right on the outside corner of the plate. Tough pitch to hit. It's one of those as a hitter you got to protect. You got to do something with. Either you foul it off or put it in play.
One interesting thing to be on the lookout for as we head to the bottom of the first. Potters obviously have been really good on offense all season. Eureka is known for pickoffs. That's one of the things their program takes pride on is being able to catch a runner napping on the bases. Potters have had a lot of guys on base all year, but it'll be interesting to see if the Hornets employ their repertoire of pickoff plays to try to catch a few Potters off the base here and there.
And even more so, with a left-handed pitcher, with Wirtz on the mound, he's a lefty. Probably has a short little leg kick there. He's going to try to keep his knee in front of his other knee and maybe get creative in those pickoffs. It's one of my favorite things as a pitcher is picking people off. As a left-handed, you can do some weird things.
Yeah, and you know it from personal experience that it is that left-handed savvy, right? Like there's so many more moves that you have. As a right-hander, you might think, well, maybe I can try to pick a guy off at third, but coach doesn't like that one because if you miss the pickoff at third, ball's rolling down the left field line, somebody's scoring.
Yeah, but it's a free run on that point, so that would be a bad thing.
So here we are. We're about ready to start the bottom of the first inning. And we have, like we said earlier, it's Adams, Benders, and Burns for the Potters. And Coach, just tell us a little bit, what are we looking for in the Potters offense here?
So, like you said, we're going to have a lot of base runners, right? Owen's going to try to get on right here any way possible. Owen even had a home run a couple days ago. So anything is possible. Tons of power. Not afraid to play the small ball. A lot of base hits and then stealing, running around the bases. But then you got the big bats, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. Even 6. Ken Joe's been roping the ball to right center a lot this year. So goal is to get runners on and then move them around quickly.
All right, here's Owen Adams, and he will swing at the first pitch. That one is popped back. It's going to be Roth, the catcher, who will handle it for the first out here.
Yeah. It's always a good thing to be aggressive, but wasn't in your zone. Might want to take one. And I think there's two rules of thought. You either take the first pitch of the game or you come out like Tim Anderson and swing away trying to hit bombs. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If there's one in the zone, you might as well take it, though.
As a White Sox fan, I know you're excited about this season. This is Brody Wirtz on the mound. That one is back up the middle from Isaac Benders, and it looks like it'll be the first Potters hit. That one was sort of off of Wirtz toward the second baseman, Weir, but nowhere really to go with it. Benders, I'll give him an infield single on that one.
Yeah, hit him off the back of the calf there. Hard hit ball right up the middle.
So here is Colin Burns. We had a lot of sports going on outside of, obviously, we're going to talk about this game right here, but as you see the pitch from Burns, and that'll be a strike on the outside corner. But, this is the opening of college football season tonight. I don't know if we're going to outrate the Ohio State-Minnesota game, but I was telling people I thought we would definitely be strong competition.
We have 12 years, Coach.
There we go. It's a good start. It's a good start. If we could just get them to get about 1 million friends, we might have a shot to outrate ESPN on this one.
But does anybody really like Ohio State? It's kind of tough. You're a Northwestern fan, I'm a Texas fan. It's like there's one team out there. For me, it's Oklahoma, but Ohio State is a close second.
One of my colleagues, as Burns, will ground that one right off with the glove as well, but the force out at first is successful. So once again, Brody Works gets his glove on a ball, almost pulling off these plays at the pitcher's mound. There he slowed it down enough that McLaughlin at short was able to field it. So fielder's choice, Burns at first, Bender's retired, and Cameron Crawford coming to the plate.
Yeah. And then we're going to have Isaac Davis courtesy running there for Colin. So
Isaac, one of your 7th graders that you said is having a tremendous year and a ton of speed over there at first base.
yeah, he pitched yesterday for us East Peoria, played third base today.
First pitch is outside to Cam, and Cam has been on fire lately. So,
Swinging the bat really well.
Let's see if Wirtz wants to give him a pitch to hit. You can tell that first one was intentionally pitched away. That one is pitched away too, and it's popped towards short, and that will be caught there by McLaughlin. So Wirtz works a scoreless first inning. He does give up a hit, but no runs. That single hit, no errors, 1 man left for the Potters. So through 1, there's no score. Good inning on the mound for both pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, those are some hard-hit balls up the middle, too, and fielding your position, or at least using your body to field your position, sometimes works out. So I think Eureka's got to be happy with that, getting through the first 4 batters without any runs.
And we'll see 5, 6, 7 up for the Hornets this inning as well. It'll be Wirtz, the pitcher, leading off, followed by Owen Kemp and Isaiah Weir. So, again, let's just talk a little bit about where we are in the junior high season. Eureka comes into this game, like we said, 7-12. Potter's only 1 loss on the season. But both these teams it's getting close to that regional time, and your focus kind of needs to start to shift toward the postseason at this point.
100%. You need to be locked in, trying to do all those little small things, almost like a tune-up. So both teams have the weekend off here for the Labor Day holiday, but coming back at it next week with 4 games, and then we're into the postseason at that point. But you want to make sure your pitching's sharp, you want to make sure your pitcher's got some innings, because you're going to have a little bit of a lull there. Understand all your coverages, because once you get to the postseason, that's when those little things come up and sneak up to bite you. Sometimes you're going to need a bunt coverage or first or third that you maybe only practiced once or twice, and maybe not even had the opportunity to use in a game. Sometimes that's a big deal, especially with the Potters this year winning a lot of games with a 10-run rule. Don't have a lot of opportunities to put in some of those small ball type activities.
Absolutely, and one thing that I think you talk about this is kind of a tune-up. One thing that I think is kind of cool about this is the game under the lights. This is one of those things you don't get to do a lot in junior high baseball, but then when you get to the postseason, you might have a sectional game or a state game under the lights. Kind of nice for the team to get a little bit of that moment of playing in the twilight, which sometimes can make a difference, right? The ball looks a little different when it goes up into those lights.
Yeah, if you're an outfielder, right, and you're used to battling the sun with your sunglasses, now you got to battle lights. It's a completely different phenomenon.
I was even talking about it with our football guys. We played, but even for our seniors, but for the kids that last year when we played in the shortened spring season, that one is followed back by Wirtz, we started at 6 o'clock. On Friday night, for some of them, especially kick returners, they were coming over to the sideline telling us it's the first time they've caught a ball with lights.
Yeah. I mean, and then, not to beat up Ashton there, but fumbled the opening kickoff, Coach. How'd that make you feel?
Well, we're going to be better this week, is where I'm going to go with that.
That's what he told me, too. Yeah. Although, he said he felt better when Seth fumbled. That was positive.
Like we said, we're looking for a better performance this week from Potters. It was a great week of practice. Coach Briley, it's a hit by pitch as Brody Works will go to first, but Coach Briley stressed all week that adversity is something that you have to embrace because you want to overcome it. And sometimes it's within a game, sometimes it's within a season, sometimes it's within a week. And we'll see that a little hopefully tomorrow night when the Potters take on Galesburg.
Yeah, and speaking of adversity right now, Cam struggled a little bit, right? Hit 2 batters, got burners on, stuff we're not used to from a 8th grade Potter baseball.
This is another left-handed hitter, Owen Kemp, number 29, left fielder for the Hornets. He is, again, the 4th left-handed hitter that the Hornets have put out here. And Cam quickly ahead 0-2. We talk about, obviously take a deep breath, right yourself. He's looking pretty good so far against Kemp.
Yeah, 100%. He's throwing 2 outside fastballs. Looks like Colin's ending up for another outside pitch.
That one is flown toward right field, and it is going to be down in fair territory, quickly cut off by Andy Ballard. We will see Wirtz to third base, and so give Kemp a base hit on that. Good piece of hitting on 0-2. He just kind of got the bat on the ball, floated it out to short right field, and now he creates an RBI opportunity for Isaiah Weir.
Yeah, and looking at his first two swings, he's swinging head out, head through the ball. So his outside pitches that came through, he couldn't get there. And then he missed the target there and threw one inside.
Weirl squared a bunt, not a squeeze, almost maybe a safety squeeze, or maybe they just wanted to take a look at how the Potters were going to defend it.
Yeah, first and third situation, you never know what's going to happen. Your coach over there is doing 9 million signs a minute. But see what we get here. Could get a bunt. You never know. Make him throw the ball.
Yeah, Weir moves up in the box, almost like he's trying to get an angle. I wouldn't be surprised if the bunt is coming. It is. It is popped up. Burns grabs it. The opportunity for a double play. He'll float it over to McKee. He'll have plenty of time. So a double play on the bunt, and you can kind of see it. It's kind of nice to be up in the press box, you know. That's a hard one to see in the dugout. But from up here, you could see Weir sneaking up in the box, trying to create that angle with his bunt.
And he was moving his fingers and his hands up the bat just a little bit. Then he saw the runner break from third, and Potters read it perfectly. Colin straight up in the air there and got it, and then McKee got back to third for the double long.
This is Keegan Myers at the plate. Myers in right field for the Hornets today. Another lefties. The Hornets with 5 left-handed hitters in their starting lineup.
It's a very unique thing, something that not a lot of coaches or teams get to experience.
That one is a striking outside. We'll be 1-1 here.
That's sort of thing, coach.
Yeah, it looks like actually we got 0-2.
I think we got the fastball. I think we got the benefit of that on the first pitch.
Here comes the pitch, and that one will be strike 3. So there you go. Mike told us right away that was strike 3. So Potters get out of trouble in the second inning with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, just 1 man left on base, and they'll bring Sammy Hare, Camden Taylor, and Andy Ballard to the plate in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, great defense sometimes bails out some pitching when it might not be on. Got a feel right now, though, that Potters are probably going to try to make some adjustments. I think Cam's probably thinking, hey, I need to do this, X, Y, and Z, second time through the order in order to be successful here. Putting some spots.
Let's talk a little bit about the offensive side, too. I mean, looking at the pitching matchup here, right? Brody Wirtz, left-handed pitcher, and we saw it in the first inning. He is throwing strikes. He's not a super hard thrower, but sometimes against a power-hitting team like the Potters, that guy that isn't a super hard thrower is actually the more effective pitcher.
100%, you know. It's hard to time it up, you know. Great hitters make adjustments, but usually that first time through is where you're going to see a lot of, let's say, lazy pop-ups is what I'd like to call them, not driving through the ball, or you're back on your back foot because you're trying to wait on it, and therefore you dip your back shoulder and the ball just goes straight up in the air, right? Or you hit a weak ground ball to the right side just because your mind is overplaying that. So we're going to have some challenges right here. You're going to have here, right, and then Taylor.
Yep.
So you're going to go righty, lefty, lefty. So Wirtz is going to see 2 lefties back to back here in a second.
That'll be interesting, because the other thing I've discovered sometimes in junior high or high school baseball is, unlike the major leagues, the left-handed pitchers struggle more with the left-handed hitters.
Yeah, they don't want to hit them. It's a whole different ballgame. Unless that left-handed pitcher has a really, really good curveball, and then it's almost like good night, because that left-handed hitter, hardly in junior high and high school, rarely sees a left-handed curveball.
So Sammy Hare at the plate takes ball 1. Here is the second pitch fouled back. 1-1 is our count.
Good swing right there, Sammy. I mean, it was going to be a strike. Fouled it off. Probably wasn't his pitch to hit.
Sammy been hitting well recently as well. Not really all the Potters have, but following along as that one's going to be just off the outside corner, but following along as I can on the Twitter feed and such. I saw he's been able to take a couple out of here this season, so the home run power has been working.
Yeah, and Eureka's playing him pretty deep in left and center. So they must have got some of that scouting report too.
3-1 now.
Definitely a big fan of the pull game. Going to hit the ball more than likely left side, left center.
Wirtz will nod, come set, and deliver. And that one is up high for ball 4, so leadoff walk here in the second. Taylor coming to the plate with Hare on first. Opportunity for the Potters to get something going here in the second inning.
100%. So sometimes don't you feel like a broken record? I mean, Camden Taylor's also been having a real good year here at the plate.
That one he's going to ground in the hole between first and second, so that'll be a base hit for Camden Taylor. Well, Potters will have runners on first and second with Andy Ballard coming up. And as you said, Coach, let one lefty does the job. We'll see if the second lefty can find a way to get on base and maybe bring a run home.
Yeah, Camden got an inside pitch right there and just turned on it. Second baseman was breaking maybe a little bit too early towards second base. Probably could have fielded that, but right in the gap right there, and let's see what Mr. Ballard can do.
Work sets. Now he's got to check both runners. Now he'll deliver. Bell will ground that one foul.
A little bit early. He's got to make those adjustments. Coach Crawford's telling him, hey, that's what you got to do.
One of the great things about the Potters lineup is they're pretty confident regardless of where they are in the order. So even with 7, 8, 9 up, you get the feeling that they expect to score this inning once they put 2 on base. That one is in the dirt, but well blocked. Good job by Connell Roth behind the plate. A nice catch earlier on the pop foul, which is always a tough play for junior hires. And then good job on a pitch in the dirt there.
Yeah, kept the ball in front of him. Sammy couldn't see how far he got away from him, so therefore he had to stay at second base.
We talked about Eureka having a repertoire of pickoffs. No throw there, but definitely holding Sammy close there at second base.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't want to throw, and they just do that weird.
There comes the pickoff, and he's back safely. Almost looked like they were setting it up with the first one with the no throw.
Yeah, and he switched his motion. You see that? He went one way, and then he said, "Oh, I'm going to go the other way for when I'm actually going to throw it." The only downfall is sometimes if you do that too much, figure out the motion.
2 and 1 now. And I think the other one that I would toss in there as far as like a downfall of it is, do you lose focus on the hitter? Now, that's just 2 pickoffs. That's not too, I wouldn't say that's too much, but if it becomes a ton of pickoffs, I mean, your focus has still got to be on the hitter. That one is behind Ballard, 3 and 1 now.
But I mean, it's 3-1 right now, right? Now we got Potters at first and second. He continues to looking back there at Sammy. Taylor's got a pretty decent lead over here at first base, but he's kind of lost focus, to your point. I mean, Ballard's, would be probably a 3 hitter if he hit the ball. He's got some speed too.
3-1 grounded foul, be 3 and 2. Obviously, you probably don't want to do it with nobody out, but I feel like the double steal is available to the Potters. I mean, neither runner. There were the 2 pickoff throws, but since then, shortstop hasn't really held Sammy's particularly close at all, and the first baseman playing in front of Camden first. That's going to be double 4, though, so it's not going to matter, as the Potters are going to have them loaded for Alex McKee.
It's got to be a luxury for Coach Crawford to have somebody like Alex McKee in your 8th spot, right?
Indeed.
It hits the ball super hard, super athletic. I mean, he's got some speed.
So here we go. Alex McKee with the bases loaded. Infield moves in. There's ball 1. Well, the infield moves in on the left side, but the right side staying relatively back. The third baseman and shortstop taking a step close to the grass. Second baseman still deep. First baseman relatively in on his part. McKee follows that one back.
It's kind of like I don't know what I'm doing infield, right? I mean, you're playing even with the bag at third, first base. Shortstop's kind of in. The second base is playing almost in right field.
Normal depth or more deep.
So he must not think that he's going to hit the second base, or if he does, there's no shot at getting it home.
I would say they're trying to still turn double plays. McKee will ground that one foul past Coach Crawford and Sammy Hare at third base coach's box and at third base, respectively. I'd say they were trying to still turn double play, but the shortstop was off. Now the shortstop moves back. Interesting defensive alignment. Now a more traditional defensive alignment with 2 strikes.
Although third base,
Alex fouls that one off, but I like it. He's protecting, right? I mean, that might have been a ball, but it was close enough. You don't want to take it.
Yeah, now it's almost like they got a straight up the middle kind of shift going. Third baseman's playing well off the bag at third. Shortstop is not really moving back to his position, trying to hold the runner more right at the middle.
Curveball, a little bit up high. Be 2 and 2 now. Good at bat for Alex so far.
Yeah, for anybody, make your pitcher throw more pitches, right?
Absolutely.
Definitely thinking out there.
Here comes the 2-2. That one is into the right center field gap, and it is going to be caught. Really nice running catch out there. We will see Sammy Hare tag up, so the first run of the game. But now we got a runner caught off of first base, and this has kind of become a little bit of a crazy play here as it turns into a triple play. So they say you come to a baseball game, you're going to see things you haven't seen before. The run will count, so Mike Wise will signal the run does count, but Coach Myers, they say that you have things you haven't seen before at a baseball game. I've seen a triple play before in person, but only once, and it certainly didn't look like that.
Yeah, definitely at a junior high game. So that's just, I don't know the politically correct way to say that.
I mean, I think
it's just they just try to do too much.
Yeah, that's
right?
what it comes down to. You're
Trying to be
right.
a little too aggressive, and maybe, give credit to Eureka. They were spot on. Their heads were knowing what they're doing. Ballard got a little bit off. Kind of maybe thought Taylor was going to go after that throw came home and Stanley tagged. Eureka did the right thing, though. Got the ball behind the runner and forced Potter's hand.
Yeah, Potters do score one run. I'm trying to get the scorebook correct here. Potters do score one on one hit. No errors and nobody left because everybody was erased on the triple play. I think the final putout there goes down as a 9-3-2-5, I believe, if I am correct on that. Right field to catcher. No, right field to first base to catcher to third base, I believe, was the relay there. I almost wish we had replay. Go back and watch that again, but we don't have replay, so we'll have to see what happens. Coach Parrott is at home watching, and I think he summed it up well. That sometimes being greedy doesn't work out.
Yeah. Coach Parrott knows. I mean, not their Coach Parrott or the bus here, but he is listening. So we were a little greedy last night, trying to get some more runs at home than we maybe needed. But sometimes runs are important, especially anytime you're playing a really good game. And if you can get those, and the other thing is you got to factor in we're playing junior high baseball.
Yeah.
Mistakes are going to happen, so you got to take advantage and capitalize on those mistakes.
Yeah, I coached junior high baseball for 3 years, so you guys have done it way more than me. But one thing I remember is the 6-run inning was possible for any team.
100%.
So you never wanted to be stuck on a number. If you could add runs, you always wanted to add runs.
Definitely. You always want to get runs any way you can. And it takes a lot of good throws typically to cut those down like that. So credit to Eureka. They did what they needed to do.
That one is flown into left center field. Sammy Harrell make the catch there. It's Devin Wiles who was up. He was the 9-hitter for the Hornets. Coach Myers, I'm going to hand over play-by-play to you for a little while here. So as we head to the top of the Eureka order, I'm going to pass this over to you.
Yep. So we're going to have McLaughlin up to the plate for his second at-bat today. Again, delivers, misses inside off the glove. Colin Burns there for 1-0 count. Cam, I think just needs to settle in, right? Just a little bit, throw strikes.
I think that's it. I mean, it's just a matter of confidence, getting into a rhythm, I think, sometimes as a pitcher. And, you talk about some of the best pitchers were not guys that got into a rhythm easy. I remember Greg Maddox. It seemed like if he was off, he would give up 6 runs in the first inning. And then he might shut him out the rest of the way. But sometimes it takes a little while to find your rhythm, bottom line.
There we go. Cam found the strike zone right there with an inside fastball. Umpire Mike Wise gives him the benefit of the doubt for 2 balls, 1 strike here with 1 out. Top 3. Laughlin fouls that one off. Over to our parent fan section down the third base line.
Trying to see if somebody may have catch there. There seemed to be some excitement, but I don't know if that was the excitement was just trying to get out of the way or if somebody secured the catch over there.
And sometimes it's like that's why the major leagues and everybody put in those giant nets, right? So we got 2-2. Cam's gonna deliver. High fastball outside, brings him out full. Yeah. With the netting, you'd almost think that at some point Westwood Park's gonna have nets everywhere, right?
I mean, we kind of have it on the varsity field, right? We have the large nets behind the dugouts.
Cam gets him on the inside. Strike 3 for out number 2 as the Potters throw it around. Bringing up to the plate, number 28.
This looks like it's Adam Blunier, who's 0 for 1, flew out to McKee, or popped up to McKee at third base, I guess I should say.
Coach is on it. I have trouble reading writing sometimes. I can't read. That's why Coach is an English teacher.
I'm going to say, as an English teacher, and I say this lovingly, but as an English teacher, you see all sorts of handwriting, and you learn to adjust and read pretty much anything.
100%. Well, Cam gets ahead. Strike 1. Ooh, 0-2. Good curveball right across the corner of the plate right there.
That's kind of that rhythm I'm looking for, right? Like
100%. He likes to move fast, right?
Yeah. When the curveball starts dropping in, you know you're getting into your rhythm.
Ooh. Tries to bait him into a high fastball there. Probably through just a wee bit, but wants to send a message to the number 2 hitter that, hey, Potters are here and ready to go. Delivers on the 1-2. Strike 3. Curveball in the outside corner right there. Potters going to go into the bottom of the third inning, up 1-0 with Beck Powers coming to the plate. Center fielder. Moving on the top after that. So Potters are in good position right now.
Potters are in good position. I love the end of that inning for Cam. The 2 looking strikeouts we talked about wanting to get him into rhythm. That was rhythm right there. Honestly, I feel like you could just see it when that curveball dropped in that he was suddenly locked in. So I think it's going to be a struggle for the Hornets to get guys on base the rest of the way. But if you're the Potters, you're certainly not satisfied with 1.
No.
Especially the way last inning ended. You want Beck on base, and then you want to roll with Owen and Isaac and Colin and the rest of the guys at the top of that order.
Yeah, and the good thing is Beck's almost like your second leadoff guy at the 9-hole, right? He's got some speed, puts the bat on the ball. He's going to be an aggressive base runner when he does get on. And then you're going to have the top of the order, Owen Adams right behind him, and then Isaac. So this is where the Potters get that opportunity. You know, a lot of times as a coach, you see the second time through is either when a pitcher's going to figure it out and make adjustments, or the batting team, right, is going to make those adjustments. And whoever wins that battle typically wins the game. It's the second time through the lineup is the most important.
Absolutely. You look back to last inning, right? I mean, the Potters hit the ball hard. I mean, Camden Taylor obviously a really solid single through the hole between first and second. McKee's line drive into right field that I know it started a triple play, but I mean, Keegan Myers out there made a nice play to go and get that. And it was just one of those things where it wasn't as if the pitch fooled the Potters at all, but it was one of those situations where on the bases, again, the over-aggressiveness kind of cost him a little bit.
And it is what it is. You know, you can't take it back. It's good to be aggressive, though. I mean, I'm not defending the Potters, but I kind of am. A lot of the teams we've played this year aren't going to make that play.
Yeah.
So, got to be that aggressive.
And I think it goes back to our discussion on adversity, right? I mean, you know, that maybe is a little bit of adversity the Potters got to handle. You don't see a lot of games where you get triple played, but if you come back this inning and put 3 or 4 on the board, then that play doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's Beck Powers hurdles the ball there for ball 2, so 2-0. So Beck, if baseball doesn't work out, come back to the replay and say, hey, you're a hurdler. We're just going to deliver here. There's a strike zone there for the first strike, so 2 balls, 1 strike here.
That's almost impossible as a hitter to hit that pitch after he makes you hurdle the one on this basically, you know, in your batter's box, so he drops in a strike on the outside corner.
100%. That's what good pitchers do. Is Beck Powers hits it to the second baseman, throws over to first for the out. Close play. Beck Powers hustled down that line, but a really great play there by Isaiah Weir to get the ball over to first and get the out for Eureka.
Love the hustle by Beck, and just a great play by Weir over there, too, realizing that Beck was flying on the line. He had to get rid of it quick.
100%. She's going to lead us back to the top of the order here for Owen Adams. 1 out for the Potters. Owen swings the first pitch again, hits the shortstop. Cross for out number 2 for the Eureka Middle School Hornets. So Owen hasn't seen too many pitches at the plate right now. First pitch hit both of them hard, but now the Potters got 2 outs from their opportunity to go for the second time. It's kind of dwindling a little bit here for their top batters. So let's see what Isaac Benders can do in the bottom of the 3rd.
Benders 1 for 1 today.
Takes ball 1, ball in the dirt there.
I actually am fairly impressed with Wertz, though, on the mound. I mean, he throws strikes, he gets people to swing, he needs his defense to back him up, and so far they've done it.
I feel like it's hard to kind of tell from here, but it looks like he's changing speed, too. Like, I think he's got a fastball, a curveball, changeup, and he's maybe got one of the pitches that's maybe somewhere velo-wise between the changeup and the fastball. It's kind of hard to tell, but he's really adjusting where he puts the ball and the speed that it's coming at, which is keeping the Potters at bay. Benders ropes one to center field there. Cut off, good play by Kemp, center fielder out there. Oops, not Kemp. Lunier, center fielder. But Potters got a runner, 2 outs.
Benders 2 for 2. I mean, he's certainly locked in today.
100%. He's been locked in all season. So, which is going to bring up Colin Burns to the plate. Colin roped it up the middle last time for his at-bat. So, got Isaac Benders first base over here. Small little lead to Wertz. We've talked about it a couple times.
Well, you know, when you get these teams, I mean, the Potters are going to play Eureka every year at junior high, and a lot of years at high school level, though not this past year. But Potters are well aware Eureka likes to go to the pickoff game, too. So
100%, which there it is right there. Very interesting move. His foot went up, almost came down, then he decided to pick it back up again and throw over to first base.
So we appreciate all of the comments, and we got Rusty Ballard again. We appreciate you listening, Rusty, and appreciate the positives on the great play-by-play. Working on the camera, we had a few Wi-Fi issues here at Westwood Park, so that may be part of the issue here. The Westwood Park Wi-Fi was a little rough on us at the start of today. As you're going to see, Benders take second. Good break. That's how you steal a base against a left-handed pitcher. He went on first move and was able to get in there. But, I mean, honestly, nice throw by Roth behind the plate as well. Made it close.
Trying to adjust the focus. The issue for those you viewing is we have to go through a screen currently. Oh, Burns hits the ball down third base line. It's going to be fielded. Foul for strike number 2. Colin's going to come back up with two outs, 1-2. Isaac Winters at second base.
Quick little thumbs up to John Martin, by the way, the third baseman for Eureka there, running in and getting that ball well. It was foul because there was a chance that was rolling back fair and Burns would have had an infield hit.
Yeah, always feel the ball for the youngsters if you're watching is to try and field that in foul territory. Ball misses inside for 2-2. It's also a great reason why, as a runner, as a hitter, you should always sprint to first base every single time because you have no control over what that ball is going to do after it hits your bat. Wertz is going to deliver here. 2-2. Oh, curveball. Got him. Burns didn't like that pitch right there, but he switched speeds, dropped down, threw a big looping curveball, which some we haven't seen a lot out of Wertz, for out number 3 as we head here to the top of the 4th with the Potters winning 1-0.
Well, you were right on it, Coach, though. You said that one of the things Wertz was doing well was changing speeds. And that was, again, the new pitch. We hadn't really seen the big, I'll call it the classic Uncle Charlie curveball, which drops off the table there. But I think he was saving it for where he really needed it. And you saw it right there with the cleanup hitter at the plate.
Makes sense.
As we head into the top of the 4th inning for the Hornets, it'll be Connell Roth, John Martin, and Brody Wertz coming to the plate. 1-0 game here. And we have the Potters, obviously, with Cam Crawford on the mound. And the last inning, the top of the 3rd was Cam's best inning. 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. So I'm anxious to see him kind of keep that rhythm up this inning, especially as he goes through 3, 4, 5 in the Eureka order.
100%. You said it. He was getting into that rhythm there at the end. Fastball, curveball, fastball up, fastball away. Once you get into that rhythm, it's like, oh, here we go. Rinse and repeat. It's very much like taking a shower every single day. Once you know how to do it, you get comfortable, it is good to go.
Potters, with the rest of their team, they have not changed their alignment at all today. Obviously, very consistent defensively, and really consistent defensively all season, which is part of what makes them so good. Coach Crawford has guys that he trusts at every position, makes a few changes here and there depending on who's pitching, but one of the things that makes for a good junior high team is you make it out-and-out defensively. I think Potters are a great example of that.
100%. And a lot of these guys can play multiple positions, which is a great problem to have, but as you said, Canvas is there with the ball on that side corner of the plate. Pretty much set. They know where they're going to play, who's going to do what, based on who's pitching. As we hit one out there to Sammy here, who makes the catch for out number 1 in left field. That was Roth at bat. Now coming to the plate, number 27, John Martin, with 1 out here, facing Cam for the second time.
Martin struck out his first at-bat.
Cam delivers really good curveball right there for strike 1. Almost finding that rhythm, finding out where that arm slot is. It's going to get the ball over the plate. Roth was not, and Martin was not ready for that one.
Like I said, I think Cam's starting to feel the rhythm there. Even that pitch, I think that was more or less where he wanted it.
Yeah, trying to hit him outside, bait him in, hit one off the outside corner of the plate there. Just didn't quite get it.
That was the one he was looking for the pitch before.
100%, anytime you're throwing right there to the 4-hitter, you want to be selective because typically that's one of your team's better hitters. Cam's got 1-2 here to the number 4 batter. This is down and away. Good stop by Colin Burns, even though there's nobody on base. Didn't know to get that ball. 2-2 here, 1 out. Top 4. Curveball.
Just missed.
That's a close one, right? Martin really, he looked like he won it, but wasn't quite there. So, full count. Ball 4. So, Martin's going to get the walk right there for Eureka. They have another batter on again. As Wirt's pitcher is going to come with the bat. Another left-handed pitcher, left-handed batter. So, see what Cam can do.
Wirt's hit by a pitch last time. I feel like those last 2 pitches to Martin, though, were so close to being strikes. Just literally inches off. That one a little bit more than an inch off.
Yeah, Cam shaking his head. Almost looked like he tried to overthrow a little bit there, right? Trying to get back for that one, trying to get ahead. Wirtz is all the way back in the box and almost on top of the plate. He's a left-handed batter. Cam throws him an inside one. Gil Porchard makes a diving stop, gets it. Cam runs over to first for the 3-1 single play. Martin does go to second on that. A great play by Gil Porchard over there to dive and save a hit, really.
Yeah, and a great job by Cam, right, knowing that his job in that situation is to be there at first base for his first baseman. That's what happens when your dad's the coach, though. Those little fundamental things, you better do them right.
I mean, 100%. You think about it. Coach Crawford's been their coach since they're 8 years old, give or take, and it shows at this point. So, I mean, we're pretty lucky to have this group coming through our high school program. First with me, and if I see any of them, then you'll get some too. And
yeah.
It'll be a great time. Couple of years.
Absolutely. Well, and then last year, you and Coach Parrott, these guys when they were 7th graders, I know you had a couple guys not with you because they played off like Cam and Owen and Colin, but I mean, I think you guys lost 1 game all
season. We
season.
lost 1 game to East Peoria, which we avenged last night. Coach Parrott and I were talking about it when we were at East Peoria yesterday. It was the only game we lost last year. Was there at East Peoria. Cam gets strike 1.
So again, Cam is set down 7 of the last 8, so he has started to get into the rhythm like you were talking about.
Potter's got 2 outs here. Owen's kind of playing behind the runner, short, gets off. Ooh, swinging, strike 3 right there, sits down to Potters. And Kemp is going to be the 3rd out. As Cam finally gets in that rhythm. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, Potter's still leading 1-0.
Yeah, so Cam sets down 8 out of the last 9, so he found his rhythm kind of late in the 2nd inning, start of the 3rd inning. He's been really good since that point. Where the Potters are still kind of looking for that rhythm is on the offensive side of the ball, you know. Obviously, they had the opportunity in the 2nd inning. The triple play occurred. One of those rare things, again, you don't see very often, if at all. But this is a big opportunity for the Potters. They got Crawford, Hare, and Taylor coming up. 3 guys that we know can do some damage. And obviously, I think Cam feeling good about himself with a couple some quality innings on the mound. It'd be nice to see him come up here and rip another base hit.
100%. 4, 5, 6 is what you would love to see in this situation. Maybe Wirtz is getting a little bit tired. I don't really see any drops or any accuracy issues, so maybe not.
Well, they're interesting to see if he comes back to that
He's gonna,
big break and curveball.
I mean, I don't know about you, but if I was the coach, I'd be like, hey, you should probably throw that first pitch right here to that 4 batter who's going to be sitting on the fastball. That's what I would tell him.
I would honestly, I don't know if the coaches are calling pitches or if the kids are calling pitches. I would almost ask where it was earlier. And maybe you keep that in your back pocket because you don't want to overuse it. But I feel like that was a pitch that he can rely on if he can consistently throw it for a strike.
It showed it on velo. Great break. It's going to be a tough pitch to hit.
The one question, of course, we have to ask, because we don't obviously see Eureka every day, is he consistent with it? Or was that just a great example of doing everything right?
Could be. There we go. Cam's going to step in here for the start of the 4th. Ooh. Takes ball 1 outside and low. So 1 out. Didn't see it there. Almost looked like a little bit of a changeup, right?
Yeah. I think Wirtz has thrown a lot of changeups. I think he's thrown changeup more than curveball. I think that's where a lot of the pop-ups have come from, is that he's been getting out in front.
Well, threw a fastball there. Cam drives the ball to center field, which is caught by Blunier there for out number 1. Not all of it, as we talked about earlier in this broadcast. Eureka are playing the Potters pretty deep.
Both teams with just 1 hit. Now granted, it's 1-0. You don't expect a whole ton of runs in that situation, but just 1 hit for each team to this point.
Yeah. 2 good teams.
And I actually can't do that. Potters actually have 3 hits. My apologies. Bender's with 2, Taylor with 1.
Sam takes ball 1. High fastball. Waiting in the box. Wirtz is taking his time. A little bit different than Cam, where Sammy with the golf swing there. Wirtz might have fooled with taking a little bit off it there, throwing it in the dirt. 1-1, 1 out.
there's the big breaking curveball. He calls it off. But, I mean, again, not a bad pitch.
Not a bad pitch. I mean, if I was going to miss and try to bait somebody into it, that would be a great spot. I feel like that's an easy pop-up pitch if they do hit it. So 2-1, comes back to low fastball again. It's saying he's swinging 2-2. So, I mean, your words here, you want to probably make him miss somehow. He swung at the low fastball twice. I think I want to throw something really low.
He went upstairs, but same result.
Yeah, high and outside, and Sammy swung way through the ball there, pulled his head out, giving Eureka 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th as Camden Taylor steps to the plate here.
So Camden 1 for 1.
Yep, roped a nice ground ball through the right side here to move some runners over. Swung a little bit early, pulls that one to the Eureka dugout over there on first base.
Tremendous effort by the Eureka coach there, but I don't think he was able to quite pull it in.
Yeah, sometimes as a coach, it's really hard to understand what's going. I think the umpire Mike Weir might be giving a little bit of. Should have caught that ball. Oh, there's that looping curveball again. This time didn't miss. Camden Ducksworth takes the bat with him for a 1-1 count. Going to deliver here. Fastball. Up high. Taylor takes for a 2-1 count.
You mentioned it earlier, but I am noticing Wertz's pattern is a little bit different, right? He's in no rush out there on the mound.
Yeah, not at all, which is kind of weird, right? Taylor rips another single right to the right fielder through that gap between first and second base. And he will be aboard the bases with 2 outs for the Potters as Andy Ballard comes to the plate.
I know we said we didn't have replay, but you could have put Camden's last hit on top of that one. It would have looked like copy and paste right through that hole between first and second.
Like those spray charts, they like would have been on the same line, right?
Yes.
We need shot tracer. That's what we need.
We'll continue to try to upgrade the broadcast, folks. We'll see what we can get. We'll get some graphics, as that one gets away, Camden's going to take second, so scoring position for the Potters. But again, I'm looking for replay. I'm looking for the spray chart graphics. We'll see what we can do here on the Potters Baseball YouTube channel.
100%. It's a little bit different when we have MPTV and Brooke Janes to help us out, or Rachel Henderson, which much love to those ladies for helping us out all through the high school postseason last year. That was awesome. Where all we had to do was show up. Here we actually got to run our own tech and our cameras. And
if you're with us right at the beginning, there's another wild pitch. Taylor cruises into third. Sorry, I got a little excited. I was ready to jump back in.
I think we both were. You can take it. You're better at it.
You're finishing this inning, then I'll grab it back.
So we got Taylor right here on third base. Eureka's going to come out, and we're going to have a little pep talk here. What's going on? We need to get together and determine what our best course of action is. 2-0 right now to Andy Ballard. 2 outs, 1-0. I mean, Potters aren't going to do anything crazy. Ballard's a really good hitter. Typically, he's a pull hitter. Lots of speed, too. That's the other thing. He's been battling a little bit of a blister on his foot, which is kind of helping a little bit, but after watching the other night, he looks back to full speed.
One thing I would love to see right now as I'm looking at Eureka's defensive alignment is Adam Blunier in center field has crept closer and closer to second base. He is almost more shallow than the left fielder or the right fielder at this point, which rarely do you see the center fielder, the most shallow outfielder. I'd love to see Andy get into one and shoot one over the center fielder's head here.
Yeah. He definitely has that potential. We're definitely in the gap, kind of like that Mashante sign right out there. That would be a nice, probably end up on second, if not third. Oh, gets an inside fastball, foul ball. A little bit early there. He's going to make the adjustment. No, he's just a little bit off. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here. Bottom of the third. Camden Taylor's on third base. Potters so close to getting another run across the plate. Strike 2 right there on the inside corner. 2-2. We're going to deliver here. Oh, ball misses. Trying to come across the plate there. Maybe trying to bait Ballard into something.
Yeah, almost looked like he was trying too hard to go outside corner, right? So he kind of yanked it all the way into the other batter's box.
Yeah, maybe he got confused. That would have been a great opportunity for a curveball. He missed. Oh, there's the curveball. Ball 4. Gets away, but nothing hurt there as the Potters going to have first and third. Because Roth did a pretty good job there keeping the ball right in front of him. Alex McKee is now going to come to the plate.
So McKee drove in the Potters' only run on a ball that ended up being a triple play. Very strange play if you weren't with us earlier in the game.
Yeah, flew out to the right fielder there.
It is 1-0 here in the fourth. Coach Parrott also points out, and I'm totally with him too, we need one of those boxes in the corner with the graphics with the score. Mr. Sturm, Don Sturm, our technology integration specialist in school, said he could show me how to do that. I just got to find time to meet with him. That he said it actually isn't that hard. So we may have to sit down with Don and see if we can talk about that.
Yeah, I think we could probably figure that out. It's not rocket science. We have all the stuff that's actually on. So we're using, for those of you who care, throws back over to first base. No issue there for Andy Ballard. You know, first and third situations are always unique. Could be an opportunity for trick plays for the defense, trying to fake throws. Could be an opportunity for the Potters to gain back some free runs when those mistakes are made. As Wirtz steps off, asks for time, and is going to have a little chat here with his catcher to get on the same page. So they go through a whole bunch of sides before we even deliver a pitch to the one and only number 40, Alex McKee.
I just still can't get over. This is a beautiful night for baseball here. 70 degrees right now, clear skies. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better night in early September to play a baseball game.
Not at all. I mean, it was even gorgeous earlier. You know, we played at 4:15. It was still only 75 degrees. Ooh. Almost looked like a little pitch out there. Kind of trying to get him to go. High pitch. Ballard stayed home over there. Almost looked like Crutch Crawford might have known something was coming. But he's going to be the recipient of ball one. Wirtz going to throw over to first base. Ballard wasn't leaning anyway. Easily back to the bag. Taylor staying at home over there at third. He's in the box, locked and loaded. 1-0 pitch. Oh, McKee drives one to center. But Lunaire is there for out number 3 in the Potters lead. 2 stranded here in the bottom of the fourth as we move on to the 5th inning. The Eureka Hornets will come back.
So yeah, we're through 4 innings, 1-0. I think, just kind of think about where we are. I mean, if you're the Eureka, I feel like you're feeling pretty good at this point, especially, and I don't want to keep harping on a single play, but you got the triple play with the Potters and a chance to kind of bust this open. And that has been that moment of, it could have been 3-0, it could have been 4-0. Now we're hanging in this game, only down 1-0. The negative for Eureka is, and we talked about this, that Camden Crawford now is retired 8 out of the last 9 hitters. He's found that rhythm that we were talking about earlier in the game.
100%. I mean, he is in the zone. It's probably, we don't have a pitch count up here, but my assumption just by watching this is probably in the 50 to 60 range.
I would say it's probably about right.
So we're still going good. Throw up to 90. Going to have some rest with the Labor Day weekend up here, so he's got plenty of time. He's used to throwing that much at this point in the season, so he's well conditioned. And to your point, he's been hitting his rhythm. 3rd inning, 4th inning, starting to get it, starting to feel the curveball. Last inning we saw a couple first pitch curveball strikes, which really kind of sets the tone and kicks that batter. Oh, I'm not getting a first pitch fastball anymore. I might have to start thinking.
7, 8, 9, by the way, also for the Hornets this inning. So especially, I think we want Cam to attack and just roll through this particular inning. I got to say, Coach, I thought you did a great job on play-by-play. I kind of like the color. I feel like there's a lot less pressure on me, but I'll take it from this point on.
It's not my forte. I can just add where I can add.
That one is a little bit outside for a ball, but I mean, that was the classic old baseball broadcast was, right? You trade off play-by-play. Somebody else would do the middle innings. There is a strike. I think the Cubs radio still does that, but I don't think Pat Hughes goes to color. I think he just gets the 5th inning off, and he gets to go have a Diet Coke and a cheeseburger.
I'm sure it's like that. But now most of it's color anyway. I mean, with all the technology and all the digital scoreboards, and everybody's at home, on their phones, watching the game while they're tweeting, and it's almost like, let's just provide some commentary and make it good.
2-2 there as Weir swings through that one.
I love watching Jason Benetti. He's one of my favorites for sure. We've talked about this a lot. Like, when he did college basketball games, it doesn't matter. It's just great. He's one of those guys.
Just misses 3-2 now. Yeah, I think we're fortunate in the, Chicago area, Central Illinois area. There are a lot of really good broadcasters for the teams that we all follow. As there's a pitch. That is strike 3. So, again, Cam rolling now. I think that's 9 out of 10 retired for him. And that includes, I'm going to do math, that includes 5 Ks in that 9.
Yeah, and Isaiah Weir for Eureka knew that was strike 3. His second, that ball passed him. He had already grabbed his bat and was running back to first base dugout.
There's Keegan Myers, who was strikeout victim his first time, and that one gets by him for strike 1.
Looked like Cam really loaded up there. He's like, I'm going to throw a first pitch strike. Sure,
and I'm going to throw it by you.
Yeah.
And he gets second pitch strike by him as well. So I don't think there's any question what's coming here. And I think if it's another fastball, you're going to get Cam's 6th strikeout in his last 11 batters.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens.
2 outs now for the Potters here in the top of the 5th. Strike 3 right on the outside corner. You know, when you as a pitcher, you find that zone. And as much as Cam and Colin have thrown to each other throughout their lives, pretty much from the time that they could throw a ball, they know what's going on.
So this is Wiles. He's the number 9 hitter for the Hornets. He flew out to Sammy Hare in left field last time. Takes ball 1 there.
Maybe a little bit of overconfidence trying to throw it by you right there.
That one is a bit outside 2-0. One of the interesting things, I think, sometimes in the high school or junior high lineup is you also sometimes, I think, see coaches slide a better hitter at the 9 hole than you might think, you know, oh, it's the 9 hitter, as Wiles will foul that one off. But Wiles had a good swing last time up, flew out to left field. And, again, not a bad swing there either.
Well, a perfect example of that, Coach Parrott put one of our better hitters in the 9 hole and hit a home run. So, I mean, just trying to find guys ways to get them in the game. Sometimes the lineup just doesn't flow the way you want it, and sometimes you just put people in random spots. Do they click? I mean, if they're a good player, they're going to be able to hit anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes if they're like in a slump, if you throw them down the 9 hole, they're probably going to get fastballs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great opportunity.
It was the classic Billy Martin thing where he pulled the starting lineup out of a hat.
100%. Cam gives up the walk right there, which you can see by his body language. He was not very happy about that. It's on him, though. He missed the zone.
So now, again, it's all about resetting, right? Now you're going to get a runner for Wiles. Wiles playing first base, so it's not a courtesy runner, but Hornets trying to just make something happen here. Down 1 in the 5th. Jackson Phillips will be running at first base. Back to the top of the order for the Hornets. This is Tegan McLaughlin coming to the plate. He grounded out to third and struck out so far today. So 3rd time through the order for the Hornets.
Yeah, 2 outs. Strike 1 right there. So probably takes away any bunting opportunity to move this runner over. It doesn't really make any sense. 1-0 game. I don't think you can waste outs at this point in the top of the 5th. You're really down to your last 7.
Hornets had 1 stolen base so far today. Phillips, obviously faster than Wiles because he's the pinch runner, but does not look like he intends to be aggressive over there.
Not at all. You know, and you think you might want to challenge a wee bit here, listening and think about it. Kind of like we talked about earlier, you know, just dancing over
now
there.
He's going to go, and it's going to be strike 3, so it's not going to matter. So we'll never know if Jackson Phillips would have stolen a base or not. Crawford strikes out the side. There was a runner left due to the walk, but overall, Potter's still holding on to that 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, and Cam totally switched it up. I didn't think we saw it all inning there, and he throws the big hook curveball right across the plate for strike 3. Definitely was not ready for that one.
Potters will have 9-1-2 again. As we head to the 5th, this is the opportunity. You talked about it. You know, Beck Power is a great resource for the Potters in the 9 hole. A guy that would probably be a leadoff hitter on a lot of teams, and it's part of the reason why the Potters are as good as they are. Though they've got all that depth throughout their lineup.
100%. I mean, even the guys that aren't even getting in the game, the bench players can all mash the ball pretty good too. You know, the Potters, we've been blessed both as coaches, you know, calling these games. We have lots of depth here, and MYBA is a great organization for youth baseball. You know, they get the kids started with T-ball, and then work through Maverick League, and then they start to go 8U, 9U travel, heavy and light. But as a town, everybody rallies behind us.
Yes.
And it's a really good thing. So by the time they get 7th, 8th grade, and then by the time they reach us at the freshman and sophomore levels, they've been playing baseball together for a long time. So they know what's happening, who's going to do what. And I would just like to say thanks to MYBA and letting us play under the lights tonight, right?
Yeah, also, I mean, I think that's a great point. Thanks to everybody involved in MYBA for all your hard work. Special thank you, though, to Steve Bates and the field crew. Coach Bates is out here helping coach as well. But, I mean, field looks great. Again, just a beautiful night for baseball. Those folks put in such hard work.
100%.
It's worth our time to give them a shout-out.
Yep. Well, let's see what we can do right here.
Here is Beck Powers. Little action in the Potters bullpen. Looks like Alex McKee is starting to throw down there. Ooh. Powers squares with bunt. He does indeed attempt it, so it'll be strike 1.
Yeah, I don't know if that was an adjustment by Works there to throw the ball lower. Hard pitch to bunt when it's nearly on the ground. You know, there's a high likelihood it's going to go straight up in the air. Set up outside.
Curveball, and that one just misses. So, I mean, I will say, I'm impressed by Works having that curveball, but we talked about it earlier. he has missed with it more than he's got it over the strike zone. So maybe that is why it's a rare pitch for him.
That was a good pitch, though. I mean, that's a tough one to hit.
Powers to right field. That one is going to get down, and it's going to get by Myers and right. Powers will go to second. He's got a shot at third. He is going to cruise into third.
We'll call it a leadoff triple for Beck Powers, and the Potters have a chance for some insurance here in the fifth.
100%. Myers made a play out there in right field, out in the ball, just missed a little bit. Great effort out there, and then, fast runner Beck Powers, almost like a second leadoff man in your 9-hole. Lots of wheels, cruising around those. He was already second base by the time he got to the ball.
Here is Owen Adams, Owen 0 for 2.
Swung at the first pitch both times.
Good point. Let's see what he's thinking here. Of course, the ground ball to short this time would be a run.
He's knowing that. He's probably thinking fastball, too.
Oh, that one's a little bit tight. Ball one, Owen.
Inside. I don't think Owen was going to swing there.
Yeah.
It looked like he was not swinging.
Like his mindset was, I'm taking.
Owen is you guys know Owen Adams. He's a very aggressive baseball player. Does not like to lose.
That is a strike on the outside corner. So, again, I've got to give Wirtz a lot of credit tonight. One thing that he's done really well is work inside and outside and made it difficult. You're looking inside after a ball almost hits you, and then he drops one in on the outside corner. He's had a really quality game on the mound.
Yeah.
That one goes outside again. Owen swings over the top of it, 1 and 2 here.
Yeah, from what I've seen, I've had, since we played a lot of time at the exact same time or even completely different places, the games I've seen, Wirtz appears to be one of the top pitchers that the Potters have seen all year. Definitely keeping them in check offensively.
Absolutely. Here is that one, and we fall back on the 1-2. The interesting piece of the puzzle here is if these two teams do meet in the postseason, which is certainly possible, you probably could very likely see the exact same pitching matchup.
I would assume so. Potters might have a little bit more flexibility in who they throw, and I think
Adams grounds that one to third, and so he will get the RBI on the ground out.
John Morton with a good play, but obviously Beck Powers, like you said, Coach, with great speed, there was no chance of a play at the plate, so give Owen Adams an RBI, and Potters
finally get that elusive insurance run. They're up 2-0 now.
Yep, as Isaac Bender steps to the plate. 1 out.
Bender's 2 for 2 today. It's solid up the middle. A single off the pitcher's glove and a single to center. There's that looping curveball. That one's a strike.
Yeah, Wirtz decided to mix it up. He's typically gone first pitch strikeout. This inning, he's gone first pitch curveball twice. So I wonder what sitting on right here. Like put up the pitch polish.
That one is grounded toward the second baseman. Weir is up with it, and he gets it to first. Weir's had a pretty solid game at second base as well. And I guess, again, in any 2-0 game, it's hard to criticize defense because you know that there are plays being made on both sides.
100%. You got to give credit to Eureka. They made a lot of plays out there, especially going back to triple play. Let's see if Colin can get a start with 2 outs. Get us into the base runner.
Burns 0 for 2, did reach on a fielder's choice. He also struck out his last time. That was on that big looping curveball that we were so impressed by. There's another one, and it's floated into short right center field. Tough play. I'm not sure anybody saw it. Give Colin Burns his first hit of the night is he found the Bermuda Triangle out there between the center fielder, the second baseman, and the right fielder.
Yeah. 2 things. A, that's a super hard place to catch any ball. And then B, as we talked about earlier, right? Different dynamics. We're playing under the lights.
Yeah.
No more sun. You're probably looking up. Where's the ball? Looking back into the lights. It's just a tough one.
So Davis will run it first. Crawford to the plate. Cam flew out fairly deep to center last time. He had a really good swing at it.
And they're giving him plenty of space out there right now. Left fielder is pretty much, 5 steps off the fence?
I was going to say, left fielder could almost climb that big tree in left field. He's that deep.
Yeah, so played well up the line. So they're playing him to go up the middle, throw over to first again for Davis. Lunar out in center is playing pretty deep for 8th grade baseball. Trying to keep the ball in front of him. And now we're going to shift Myers over a little bit more to center field out of right.
Oh, that one is inside. That's a ball. But again, Wirtz has had some purpose where he's thrown the ball. I would almost be certain that this next one is going to be on the outside half. That was not unintentional where he put that.
Yep.
So the line and deliver. That one's right down the middle, and Cam gets all of it. The only question is it going to stay fair? And it is a foul ball.
Long strike 1.
Yeah. Wirtz clearly missed his spot with that one. It floated right down the middle, and you could just see I mean, obviously we're behind the hitter, but my eyes lit up, so I imagine Cam's lit up even more.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, just couldn't quite stay fair.
Yeah, that one was going to go out no matter what. I mean, it's just a matter of how far it was going to pull. So
1-1 after the long strike.
long strike, nothing. I mean, if you're the pitcher, just got to think nothing hurts. Throw over to first.
You know, that's almost maybe a mental reset, right? You know, you just gave up a ball that had the defense been 240 instead of 250, would have hooked in for a home run. So mental reset, throw to first before you attack the hitter again.
Definitely been a harder call because it was well over the foul pole and the scoreboard. Throwing over to first again.
You know, that would be a hard ball to find, too. Not that, you know, we don't have some extra baseballs, but the lights cover the field, not behind the field. You're going to be searching for that for a while if you go out and look for that thing.
And then, he hit it pretty far, so it could have went into that AC parking lot, which could bounce forever.
That one is going to be a strike on the inside corner.
Yep. Where it's adjust comes all the way back inside.
So now the question is, where is he going to go with 2 strikes?
I think you almost got to go back to that looping curveball, right? And take a shot. You got a free one throw. Just don't want to miss.
Here it comes. That's what it is. Curveball just a little up high, but you were exactly right. You called the pitch perfectly.
Yeah. But so now it's like, what's your best pitch? What are you going to get him out with? Probably don't want to hang anything out on the outside half of the plate.
Kickoff throw again before we have that pitch.
Yeah. This is a tough one because you got to attack the batter, even if there's 2 outs. You don't want to put another runner on because Sammy here is right on deck and can do just as much damage as Cam can.
Here comes the pitch. That one is going to be a little bit down. That'll be ball 4. So the Potters now have runners on first and second. Sammy coming to the plate.
I was going to put in a courtesy runner for the pitcher.
Let's see who it is.
Number 4, Kate Darsh, is going to run for Cam Crawford.
Quick visit to the mound here from the Eureka coaching staff. And again, nobody has had any bullpen action for the Hornets, so we know they're rolling with works the rest of the way.
Unless things, I don't know. This is kind of a hard situation, right? 2-0, it's not really out of control. Your pitcher's doing a real good job, not walking anybody. It's like, oh, do you need a change? Do you not need a change? You get somebody warmed up, and if you get somebody warmed up, is that going to affect my pitcher's mental ability?
Yeah.
As a coach, this is what you rack your brain about. It's
Absolutely.
like, what is going on?
And I would say there's no pitch count danger, right? I mean, even through 5, I bet your Works is still at 70 at the most, right? I mean, he's hit some very efficient innings.
So it's more just one of those things, hey, you need to take a deep breath. You got another good hitter there. You're hitting your spots. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're going to get it back when we come. Bottom of the 5th. Top of the 6th.
I think the next step in my evolution here, I bought the cheap, I'll admit it, folks, I bought the cheaper scorebook that doesn't have a spot for the count. Maybe next time we do this, I'll get the more expensive scorebook so I can keep track of pitch count as well.
Yeah. Well, as you know, I'm not a paper guy, so I like technology. I wish we just had our own game changer and we could just keep track that way.
I will
It
admit.
just counts for me.
Yeah, no, I understand. Hey, I'm an English teacher. Anything that counts for me is an advantage. But I will admit, the purist in me, baseball-wise, likes to be able to have the scorebook itself.
I agree. But I'm not disagreeing. I just like digital.
Yeah, I understand.
Counts for me. It's going to give me a nice spreadsheet when I'm done. Look at all my stats. I don't have to do that.
That one is down. So 3-0. Now you start. Now this is you were talking about it. Now as the coach, like my brain starts to get really, really spinning because I had a mound visit and then I just saw my pitcher give up 3 straight balls. That sort of gets in your head as a coach because you want that mound visit to produce results. And obviously there's a strike, but you get a little nervous when you visit the mound and then you have 3 straight balls.
I mean, Wirtz took a lot off that pitch to throw it right down the middle. You know, Sammy's probably sitting fastball right here. Something on the outside corner.
You thought about the pickoff throw, decides not to.
Yeah, there's nobody there. So just kind of keeping them honest. Slowing the pace of the game down, right? Polar opposite pitchers. Crawford likes to work fast. Eureka works here is working kind of slow. Sammy fouls it off.
We had a full count, which means runners are going to move. So if Sammy can find a gap, we've got 2 speedy guys on both first and second.
Yeah.
Anything in the gap is probably 2 runs at this point.
Eureka's playing, outfield pretty deep in order to keep the ball in front to try to cut off some of those things. I think this might be part of the strategy here to keep Sammy off guard, right? Just to continuously do things because there's nobody there holding Isaac at second base.
Here comes the pitch. That is going to be ball 4. So Camden Taylor is going to come to the plate with the bases loaded, a chance to break this thing open for the Potters.
He's got 2 for 2, 2 ropes right down the right side. And the way that Eureka's playing this, they might switch. And so the second baseman was definitely trying to put Darsh on there at second base, but making a little bit of adjustment. Heels in the grass.
Heels in the grass. He has sort of closed that hole, but not really. I mean, he's moved over, but the gap where Camden has hit the ball is still open.
100%. Right fielder's shading in a little bit, though.
That one is fouled back.
It's a good pitch, though. Attacks him right out of the gate. You get the pitcher and you're the catcher. That's what you want. Taylor was sitting on it, though. Just a little bit too early in his trying to pull through. He knows what's open to him. He knows where he gets the ball.
Absolutely. Works, checks every runner, and drops in that curveball. When it's in the zone, it's a tough pitch. There's no doubt about it.
100%. And that one wasn't as slow as the other one, too. We talked about that was all sped up a little bit. So now Taylor's fighting this 0-2 hole with 2 outs. Bases loaded here. Bottom of the 5th. Potter's winning 2-0, but would love a couple more.
That one is a nice stop by Connell Roth behind the plate. I mean, Wertz kind of spiked that one. And we'll call that a 48-footer since the mound is only 54 feet. And Roth did a good job not letting it get to the fence.
100%. So that definitely would score a run. Davis is over there chomping at the bit.
Here comes the 1-2. Curveball misses. 2-2 now.
So there a miss. He took a little bit off that one. Almost kind of tried to float it instead of going back for that hard snap. But, I mean, that's good. That's a sign of a good pitcher, though. Who's going to be able to vary their speeds like that and still get the ball across the plate. Setting up way inside now.
And that one is too far inside, so a full count. And so now we add the fact that Sammy Harris got some good speed, too. We mentioned the speed from Darsh, the speed from Davis. Harris can run, too. So if Camden hits a gapper, Potters may get 3 here.
Let's hope so. Got to get those injured. Let's hope Eureka doesn't try to catch us off guard here by running. Yeah.
They were thinking, I mean, again, a team with a deep repertoire of pickoffs. You got to think 3-2, 2 outs. They might look for something.
Yeah. Good thing by Darsh was paying attention out there. You'd think as soon as he goes home, you got to start running. We're not running.
There's that big looper curveball, and it drops in. And that was, honestly, you mentioned that pregame. That lefty-lefty, if you could throw that big hook, is a really tough pitch.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to hit you straight out of the gate, and then it curves right in front of your face, and you're like, uh-oh, you buckle. Right? It's a tough one. It's not a position that you want to be in, and it's something you don't get to see very often. Coach Perry and myself have actually talked about this a lot. I was like throwing curveballs. She's right-handed batters. Doesn't do me any good to throw our right-handed batters. It's just another pitch.
By the way,
lefty.
I want to point out that Coach Parrott is with me on liking the book. I saw his comment on our chat stream here. And again, thank you to Coach Parrott, thank you to Rusty Ballard and everybody else who's joined us tonight. You know, obviously, Coach Myers and I love baseball. I just love the chance to get up here and do this. I wish I could see more junior high baseball, but obviously, with it being during football season, it gets difficult to be able to get out here, especially when the games are at 4:15 or 4:30. So pretty nice to have this 7 o'clock start. If Coach Crawford wanted to schedule everything at 7, I might be able to, pick up another sport to broadcast. But
or the inverse of that is you just need to like junior high baseball more. And football's just overrated, right?
Well, I think at this point I'm still sticking with the whole football thing. But
It's probably a good call. We need good coaches everywhere.
Absolutely.
Especially going to the big, last, not really preseason, but non-con game right here versus Galesburg this weekend is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Again, if anybody who's listening to us, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, head on out to Carper Field and watch the Potters take on the Silver Streaks. Freshmen are at 5. Varsity's at 7:30. Freshmen got a great win over LaSalle Peru. Varsity, obviously, like we talked about earlier, trying to right it a little bit.
Yeah, good LaSalle Peru team. Cam Crawford misses with first pitch right there.
This is Blonier in a 2 spot. So he's 0 for 2 today. He popped up to third, struck out. But again, he's made some good plays in the outfield. We've talked about the fact that Eureka's been pretty solid defensively. That's why we're hanging in this 2-0 game right here.
This is just a little bit high. So we're going to have 2 balls, 1 strike here.
Again, Cam has actually struck out the last 4 outs. That one is going to go foul. But he's got, on the day, I'm going to do math again. Again, we talked about for me as a challenge, but I only have to count, so I think I can make this one happen. So I think he's 8 strikeouts so far in there.
It's not a bad outing.
No, not at all.
believe our count is 2-2, not 1-2, but we'll find.
That one is going to just miss. Mike Wise will
Yeah.
tell us it is
Full
full 3-2.
So full count here. Good curveball, trying to bait him into swinging there. I mean, you got to get a pitch. As long as you have that confidence to come back here with a full count.
That one is just outside. Colin tried to frame it, and all the credit in the world to Colin, but Mike Wise, veteran umpire, not fooled. And that'll be ball 4, and Boonier heads to first.
Yeah, it was close. It was in the other batter's box, but good pitch, right? If you're the pitcher.
I mean, that does, as a catcher, it's an acquired skill. I mean, that's something that, junior high kids are still learning. You hope that high school kids start to master it, but frankly, there are major league catchers that still don't quite get the framing game.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Yadier Molina still practices it, after how many years in Major League Baseball. I think you could argue that he's probably one of the best catchers in the past 20 years.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, Gold Gloves. I'm not even a Cardinals fan, but it's still fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the respect in the world to him. And again, also not a Cardinals fan, but I know talent when I see it, and Yachty is fun to watch for sure. The runner will go. Speaking of good catchers, Colin Burns shoots down Boonier, a Yachty-like throw. Thank you, Colin, for allowing us that smooth transition, by the way, as well. And so nobody on, 1 out now for the Hornets with Roth at the plate.
100% popped up, got it. Perfect throw right to the bag. Owen is there. Tag right in the back shoulder. Ooh. Swinging fastball right there up high. Hard one to come around on. 1-1.
So Campbell set, deep breath, and deliver, and throw strike 2. Sometimes as a pitcher, we talk about being in a rhythm. One of the things that can put you in a rhythm is your defense. And
like an adrenaline rush,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. A great throw by your catcher. Now you're fired up. You want to do your part and get another strikeout.
Your catcher just bailed me out because I just walked that guy. That's one of the greatest feelings in the world, right there. It's like, wow, I'm back on top of the world. We got 1 out. Come attack this batter. Throw whatever I want. Don't have to worry about anybody. All I can do is focus. Right here, throw strikes.
2-2. That one is a little bit inside to be 3-2.
I'd be trying to overthrow a little bit. I mean, I think he understands that he can throw the ball by all these guys. It's this fine line, right, between overthrowing and throwing hard.
Here comes 3-2. That one is floated toward left field, just out of the reach of Alex McKee. So Roth has we'll call it a
I'd give
loop
it a-
single.
I'd give
Loop
it a hit
single.
for sure.
Yeah.
Brings up Morton, so 4-hitter right here. Runner on, only 1 out. If you're Eureka, you got to be thinking about how can I get this guy over, whether it's the 4-hitter or the 5-hitter, it doesn't really matter.
That one is up high. Here's the real question, right? You just said a runner thrown out stealing, but Roth does have stolen base earlier today. Is it worth taking a chance and trying to get that runner to second base? Or are you nervous about getting the second guy thrown out?
I don't know. It depends on your confidence level, right? How confident are you at Roth? I mean, what's his speed?
Yeah.
We don't know. We've only seen him once. But as a coach, you should have probably seen him throughout the year. What do we got going on? We've seen Colin Burns now a couple times. He's got a good one. But it's still, at the end of the day, it's still junior high baseball, right? It's going to take a really good throw.
Yes,
Right
absolutely.
now, we're 50-50 stolen bases.
Yeah, I say he's got.
You're-
Your Hornets have 1 steal. Potters have 1 guy thrown out.
And you're down to your last 4 outs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you kind of get creative. Do you want to get the guy thrown out at second? Not really. Definitely not with your number 4-hitter up.
Yeah, it might be one of those
Oh.
you're going to.
But we got McKee sneaking in.
He's sneaking in for a possible bunt, which is an interesting idea. But I mean, again, Eureka is, like we talked about, they're sometimes a little unorthodox. They love the pickoff game. They're not maybe afraid to bunt with 1 out.
Number 4-hitter.
That one is going to be a strike, so we get to 2-1 now.
He's taking a small step back. That one's playing pretty much up the middle.
Martin flies that one in a short right field. That one's going to drop there. So 2 bloop singles. The attempt to throw to first by Ballard is well. Gil Pochard, great job to knock it down. We also have Martin, who kind of stumbled
I
after.
think it hit him.
I think it actually hit him.
I think the ball hit him. I think it bounced and throw from Ballard there. Trying to get him at first. Actually hit him in the leg.
That might explain why Gil had to come off the base to find the ball if it hit the runner.
It bounced back into right field.
Yeah. So a very, very strange play on a lot of levels, to be quite honest with you. But the end result is a runner at first base. And so the tying run is now on base for the Hornets. Their number 5 hitter, the pitcher, Brody Wirtz, is at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. He also reached on a hit by pitch. Grounded to first, his last at-bat.
Yeah, we apologize to our 11 viewers out there. camera just quite doesn't get first base, and we don't have a camera operator. We have an iPad on a stand.
Okay.
So
Say, I think
at some point we can get some better.
we're always working on this, kind of building the operation. We had, the opportunity, as you said earlier, during the spring with great MPTV support from Brooke James, Rachel Henderson, all the good folks there that made us look really slick. It's a little less slick when it's us doing it ourselves.
Yep, two coaches who like technology and like to do this. So we just put it together and do what we can. This is the first one, so we got to remember how to do it.
Absolutely.
Works up the bat here.
Wirtz will shoot that one right to center field. Owen Adams dives. It gets by him. Good job by Bet Powers to get it in immediately. Saves a run. Bases will be loaded, but back getting that ball quickly prevents what could have easily been Eureka's first run of the game.
100%. And here we are, though, right? This is kind of crunch time for the Potters. Again, bases loaded, 1 out.
This is Owen Kemp. Kemp is 1 for 2. He's got a single and a strikeout. See how the Potters play defensively. The corners are in with 1 out. Kemp will foul that one back over our heads.
Yeah, I would say that they're going to try to definitely cut down the runner at home, right? Anything in the corner, playing 2 up the middle.
Absolutely. Here comes the pitch. That's a great curveball by Cam. So 0-2 now.
I think if you're Cam and you got confidence in that, I don't know what.
Double up with it, come right back. Looks like we're thinking high fastball based on where Colin is set up. It will be an OB strike 3. Turned into inside fastball more than high fastball, but it does the job.
And he swung after the ball was already in.
Yes.
And we're going to have a pitching change right here. Alex McKee's going to come in for Cam. Wonder if he hit the limit. Their pitches could be pretty close there. Throwing 6 innings, 6 2/3.
So it looks like I was off on my count earlier, but that was Cam's 8th strikeout. So a solid day on the mound with 8 strikeouts. Obviously, what he's hoping for now is that Alex McKee can come in and shut the door and preserve the 0 on the scoreboard that the Potters have right now. The Potters have held the Hornets to right now. Cam will move to first.
Bender's going to go to third.
So Gil Bouchard comes out, but Gil was the player being DH'd for, so it doesn't change the Potters' batting order at all.
Yep, not at all. McKee's going to come in and try to shut this down.
He'll be facing Isaiah Weir. Weir is 0 for 2, pop up to the catcher and a strikeout so far today.
A little bit of balance.
What's interesting, speaking of pitching, is that the Hornets have not warmed anybody up yet, and Wirtz has to be getting relatively close to the limit as well. He was cruising, but last inning, he loaded the bases, got out of it. But at a certain point, 90 pitches sneaks up on you when you have the inning with 25 pitches or so.
100%. So,
I wonder if the
coach would want to be over-prepared, right?
Yeah, I probably still am the type of coach that's over-prepared to the point where if I think I might possibly make a change, I want somebody in the pen loosening up. I just never want to be caught unprepared or off guard. Yeah.
Maybe, maybe he knows his staff's good and only going to take 10 pitches to get loose.
Yeah, and maybe it's somebody who's playing shortstop that gets to play catch between every inning. Who knows? But
everybody's got a different warm-up routine, right?
Yeah.
So you never know.
It'll be interesting. McKee quickly 0-2. He's come in throwing hard and is ahead of Weir almost before you can blink.
Yeah. Alex, like Cam, likes to work super fast. He views pitching as a job.
That one is a bit high, 1-2, but not a bad pitch, actually. Almost a good purpose pitch, really.
Yeah, almost try to bait him into it. Worst he's going to do is foul it straight up in the air right there. 1-2.
It's on the way, and it'll be strike 3. And so McKee gets out of it for the Potters. Another strikeout. The Hornets leave the bases loaded. We head to the bottom of the 6th, still 2-0.
Yeah, it comes in. We talk about pressure, right? Top 6, bases loaded. None of them are your runs. Come in, strike out the guy. Come in aggressive, too. 2 hard fastballs. Missed with that high fastball, and then comes back with a little curveball there.
Yeah.
Slider, I think, is what his actual pitch is. He doesn't have a true curveball. And knocks it out.
Hornets now will be back trying to keep it at 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th, give themselves a chance to potentially rally in the 7th. We are going to see a pitching change. So Wirtz goes to first. We'll see what the change is. And again, so we didn't see any action in the bullpen, but We're going to see a change, and we'll figure out who that is here in just a moment once we can see a number on the back of this young man's jersey.
11.
Roth. So it is the catcher, Roth. So if there's anybody who is warm, it's probably the catcher who had to throw the ball back to the pitcher on almost every pitch. So yeah, he's definitely not going to be not going to be lacking from being loose since he's been behind the plate throwing every pitch.
100%.
That does lead to a situation though where you have to switch catchers, and we saw it in the varsity game against Bloomington this year. The first regional game, Potters rallied, and one of the biggest things was when the Purple Raiders had to make a switch, they had to switch catchers, and that led to a wild pitch and a win for the Potters.
100%. Michael Wong came wrong right there, and craziness.
Yes.
One little thing can just disrupt the whole entire flow. Baseball's a game of little things, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like sometimes the catcher is as important as the pitcher when you're looking at, how is this battery going to function together? So it's Morton who is at third who goes behind the plate, and now you get Wiles, who was in left, or excuse me, who was at first, goes to third, and Wirtz, who is the pitcher, obviously goes to first. So, I mean, you're kind of making a big circle around the infield with your positions if you're Eureka. And, again, looking at it from the coach's mindset, obviously you probably don't have a choice. These are the secondary positions for all these guys. But it also sometimes makes you nervous when you've been playing great defense to kind of move the chessboard pieces a little bit.
100%. And baseball's a lot like chess. Man, talked a lot about chess today. Shout out to my sports marketing career that chess is a sport.
Andy Ballard up here, and there's a big curveball from Roth, drops in for a strike.
Yeah, I don't think Ballard was expecting that. I don't know if anybody was really expecting that because I don't think he threw one of those in his warm-up pitches.
Yeah, I can say, I think the Eureka kids have impressed me. I mean, they know the game well. So credit to them. They're obviously well coached. Ballard line drive is short. The ball just gets away. Good diving effort there from the McLaughlin and short. Just couldn't quite hold on to it. We'll give Ballard a base hit on that one.
That was a hard hit ball right there, right up the middle. McLaughlin tried to move to his left there and tried to make it hit off the heel of the glove. Limping around a little bit. Hit the ground pretty hard. Gonna throw over.
They go for the first. Ballard back. Here's McKee. Came in. We talked about it. Came in. Got the Potters out of a tough spot on the mound last inning. Another throw to first there.
So we'll see what Alex can do. Maybe we can. Some insurance runs would be nice, right? Eureka's down to their last 3 outs here, and when they come back up at the top of the 7th.
McKee will foul that one back.
Another curveball. Inside corner there.
Yeah, I mean,
quite as slow as that first one.
Yeah, I mean, not quite as slow. Now, we've seen 3 pitches from Roth, and now we're going to have a meeting at the mound between him and Morton, but it almost looks to me like he is a curveball first pitcher because, I mean, he's obviously going curveball. He went curveball, fastball, curveball on the 3 pitches we've seen. The fastball was hit hard. The 2 curveballs really have looked good.
Yeah, and I think if you're throwing to junior high kids, throw the curveball and you get it across the plate, more times out of not, you're going to win that battle.
Pickoff throw again. We haven't really, we've talked about Eureka being notorious for a lot of pickoffs and things like that. We haven't really seen it a ton. This is the first time we've really seen the repeated throws to attempt to pick off.
Yeah. I think it's just part of a strategy to slow the game down, right? Alex just came to the game. He's struck out the...
That one is floated toward right field. This is Myers going back. He will make the catch. 1 out now.
But I think, part of the whole pickoff game is to slow the whole entire game down.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Especially coming off a big strikeout inning with the bases loaded, you're amped up. If we can slow the hitters down, maybe cancel out some of that adrenaline, could be a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, people don't always think about baseball as, the pace of the game as much as other sports. People are just like, well, it's just always slow. But that's not really the case. I mean, you can have an extremely fast-paced baseball game, and I think that often does favor the favored team. Eureka obviously comes into this game knowing that the Potters are the favored team. And so, yeah, I think there is some strategies in their part to maybe making the pace of the game slow down a little bit.
You can't get into that rhythm, right? If you're up and they're always throwing over and you're ready to bat, and you're in the box, you got to keep 1 foot in. It's like, oh, he's going to throw over, he's going to throw over again, he's going to deliver home, what's he going to do? And the other thing, as a program, we like to run,
Yes.
right? And we have a lot of fast guys, so it also keeps our guys honest.
Ballard, one of those fast guys, he will go here. and he is going to slide in second base safe. And that is one of those examples, right? You knew he was looking to run. You got the secondary catcher in, and so Andy Ballard swipes second base. Now a 2-0 count to Beck Powers. Great RBI opportunity for backhand the Potters.
100%. If you could get one, center fielder came in a long way where he was playing when Ballard was up. Just poke one, right field, right center, left center, somewhere over there. Even pull him down the line. Left fielder's playing well off.
Yeah, the Eureka outfield is basically pinching the middle here, it looks like. That one is ball 3-0 now. That one is a little bit down low.
I mean, to their credit, I would say the majority of the balls tonight have gone straight up the middle.
Yeah.
First inning, 2 hit the pitcher right up the middle.
That is true. Long look. Here's the pitch. That one is going to be a strike to Beck.
Right there. Not exactly sure where Beck thought that one was. Looked like from our vantage point was right over. Felt high.
Or maybe just trying to steal a walk on a 3-0 pitch.
That's what you got to do, right? Sometimes you got to sell your case.
Here comes the pitch. That one is grounded back up the middle. Roth knocks it down. Beck with some speed. Play it first, and he is out in a close one.
Yeah. Again, I think we talked about Beck last time. That's why he hustled down the line every single time. So Owen's going to be up here with 1 out.
Oh, 2 outs. 2 outs. We actually had the fly ball from
Oh,
McKee.
the fly ball, you're right.
We're waiting for our scoreboard to update.
Still got a runner in scoring position, though.
Owen does have an RBI today. He's 0 for 3, but he did get that RBI ground out, which was the insurance run to push the Potters from a 1-0 lead to a 2-0 lead last time he was up.
Very important. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a balk, and we are going to see a balk. He flinched. That was, honestly, you could see the flinch, and everybody kind of froze. It's like, that looks strange. And then it was like another beat, and Mike Wise, our umpire, called the balk.
Yeah, it looks like he was going to try to step off. He wasn't exactly sure. He picked up his front foot as almost like a shuffle. It's a tough one. I think he wanted time, but he didn't get time. And it's just a tough spot to be in.
It is. He literally got sort of caught in between, what do I physically do here?
In my brain.
Yeah.
He went to talk to his catcher, tried to do it, but it just didn't all work out in his favor.
So in a weird way to get an insurance run, but it is.
Hey, we'll take an insurance run.
So Potters up 3-0 now, as we are in the bottom of the 6th inning. Potters 3 outs away from a victory, but trying to perhaps add a 4th run if they can do something with 2 outs here. Owen Adams at the plate, top of the order. That one is flown foul, headed toward the 7th grade field over there.
So obviously he's an aggressive batter.
They're very aggressive.
Get ready to go. There's a person who likes speed and keeping the game going. It's definitely Owen.
Pitch from Roth is going to be a strike. 0-2 now.
Good pitch. Good curveball right there. Mixed it up.
Roth, a long hold, finally delivers. And Owen fouls him straight back, still 0-2.
Yeah, another striking play right there. Wasn't his pitch that he really wanted, but it was still a pretty good one. Ooh. So now they just got to slow the game down. Some different tactics here. Long looks at home, long pauses.
That one is, once again, a foul ball out towards 7th grade field. I am somewhat entertained, just from the strategic side of this, just how different the pitching strategy is on both sides, right? Eureka is in no rush. Even with nobody on base, they're in no rush. Both Cam and Alex for the Potters are quick workers.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting concept. I'm more of a fast because I think it keeps your team engaged, right? It's
Owen ropes center
ball.
field on a missile, and it'll be a base hit as it dives in front of Blunier.
But I think it keeps your team engaged, right? If
Yeah.
you're always pitching, if you're staying around a lot of times, that's when you can start to get a little bit lackadaisical here. Benders is going to come to the plate with 2 outs.
Bender's 2 for 3 today. Potters, again, still trying to push that extra run across. Somehow, mentally, I feel like sometimes that 4th run, I think it's the whole, Grand Slam can't beat me anymore. which, I mean, again, junior high baseball, high school baseball, how many Grand Slams are there? Maybe not a ton, but just mentally you still feel like, as a baseball person, the fourth run is kind of the one you can take a deep breath if you've got the 4-run lead.
Yeah, I mean, Sammy did hit one the other day.
That is true.
So, I mean, they do happen, but yeah, I would agree. If we can extend here just a little bit, it's always a positive thing.
Bender swings a miss on that one. 0-2 now.
He's right on this ball. And Rolf is throwing it in there. He's not afraid to challenge his Potters hitters, even if we're late here in the game.
Again, I mean, Eureka's pitching has been solid overall. Works did a great job. Roth gets that one up in Bender's eyes. He fouls it off, almost a self-defense swing as it goes foul down the third base line.
That was a curveball, so I think it was going to break there. I mean, Isaac did what he had to do, and I mean, hit a hard ground ball down the line. So
let's see what the 0-2 looks like here. Here it comes. Runner goes. Base hit up the middle. Adams should be getting to third. He will. Owen didn't even slow down. It'll be a close play at third. Ball gets away. It's actually off the Potters' dugout. What that does allow is Benders to take second.
Yeah, Benders with a hard hit shot to center field there, right up the middle. Owen was trucking from first to third right there, slides in. Throw gets away from the third baseman. Luckily for Eureka, kind of settled down right up the fence right there and easily able to obtain.
I'll be honest, though, Bluneer's throw was pretty good. I thought for a second he might have Owen. Initially, I didn't think there was any doubt Owen would be at third base.
Yeah, I thought he was gone, personally. But, as we talked about earlier in the broadcast, you got to make a lot of good throws to get a lot of people out.
Absolutely, and that's why as a coach, you always question yourself if you get a guy thrown out. But I feel like more often than not, aggressive is the right choice.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think as you get older, right, but at these levels, it's gonna take some really good stuff.
And
arms aren't the same.
Right,
there's lots
exactly.
of variables, but
that one is down low, 1-1. I always try to count the number of things that have to go right. It's like, he's got to field it cleanly. He's got to make a good throw. The
person's got to catch it.
Yeah,
and they got to tag him.
Yeah, all those things. There's
a lot.
Yeah, there's usually at least 4 things that have to go right for a team to record it out on the bases. And I mean, just on percentage, right? That's harder otherwise.
Yeah. And in all reality, for most teams, for all teams, it's really hard to get all those things right every single time. Right? Even the best players in the world still make errors, make bad throws.
That one is fouled off almost into the Eureka dugout. I think there are a few people diving to avoid the rocket that Burns shot over there. Thankfully, everybody's okay. Good thing we have the built-in dugouts that are, underground. Everybody can duck behind the fence there.
Hopefully. That's not in there.
Like I said, a little dangerous for some of the coaches that are sitting out in front of the dugout, but
it's their choice.
Yes.
They live their life one fastball at a time.
There you go. Here comes the 1-2. That one is grounded toward first base. That should be the second baseman, Weir, who takes control of it, throws it over to Wirtz at first, and the Potters are retired here in the 6th. They do add a run via a balk, so kind of a unique way to get a run. There were 3 hits in the inning, a couple men left on base, but bottom line is Potters up 3-0 and 3 outs away from a victory here.
Yeah, I think if you're Alex McKee and you're walking out there right now, your confidence, right? You got good defense behind you, you got a 3-run lead, and you just struck out the last batter coming in with the bases loaded. So your confidence has got to be fairly high at this point.
Potters with 3 runs on 8 hits in today's ball game, and again, hoping that we don't see them hit again, that'll be the final total. They did leave 9 men on base, so I think if you're Coach Crawford, one thing you might mention in practice tomorrow is if this is a 3-0 game, it could have been a 6-0 game, 7-0 game if we were a little more efficient at the plate. But at the end of the day, if you get away with a win and a shutout win at that, you're going to feel pretty good about yourself.
Yeah, I think you got to give Eureka credit that they hit the ball in front of them the whole entire time.
And so, obviously, for Eureka, they're going to have, and this is a good thing if you're a Potters fan, 7, 8, 9 coming to the plate for the Hornets.
Yeah. So you got to know that Coach Bates just goes out and tell Alex that right now. He's got, Alex is going to be thinking, here we go, I can overpower.
Well, I really like Alex because he works so fast. Like, I just feel like as a hitter, you would not be comfortable with him on the mound.
Definitely not. He's going fast, and he's got a repertoire of pitches, right? He doesn't have your traditional 12-6 curveball. It's more of a slider or a slurve, however you want to call it. And you don't know what's coming. Got the same release point for both pitches.
That one is up high, and it's actually 8-9-1. I was looking one spot off on my book, but it's 8-9-1. This is Myers at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, so definitely say go right at him. Follows that one back 1-1.
Yeah, good cut right there by Myers. Good job by Alex to come back again with another high fastball. You're probably thinking here he's probably sitting on something off speed, but you never know. So maybe get him with an inside pitch. I'll setting up low inside.
That one is a great jam, great pitch. Taylor gets it at second base, but wow, talk about the old expression, get in his kitchen. He got in his kitchen right there, sawed him off. If that had been a wood bat, it would have broken into two clean pieces.
Yeah, right up the handle. Hit him on the inside corner where it's going to be a hard pitch for him to put into play. He did. Got exactly at that for
strike to Wiles. Wiles, again, he's 0 for 1. He did walk once. He had a really good at-bat in the at-bat that he walked.
Alex is in and ready.
That's a strike, 0-2. Again, I truly, it's a pleasure to watch how fast he works on the mound.
Yeah. But it's also easy to work like that when you know you're up 3-0. You got a great defense behind you that typically, knock on wood, doesn't make mistakes. And it's going to be their bailout.
That one is popped straight up by Wiles. Owen Adams calls for it and makes the catch. 2 outs here in the 7th.
Eureka down to their last out now. So McLaughlin's going to come to the plate, lead off batter.
McLaughlin 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts in there as he takes strike 1 there.
Yeah, Alex is getting ahead, stays ahead, right? He knows what's going on. First pitch, strike right there.
He'll wind and deliver there, and McLaughlin will foul that one off. 0-2. Benders had to chase that in foul territory, but Alex gets the ball back and is right back on the mound.
Yeah, 0-2 for sure.
McLaughlin will choke up a little bit, just trying to put it in play here on 0-2, and he will ground it right back to McKee. He takes a jump, grabs the ball, tosses over to Cam Crawford at first, and that'll do it. A 3-0 victory for the Potters. And, we won't – there's not going to be a lengthy post-game show here, Coach. I'll just let you cover some final thoughts, then we'll say goodbye.
Yeah, great game by the Potters. Finally got challenged here a little bit. Great pitching by Wirtz on Eureka's side. Keeping the pitches and the velo, mixing up the whole entire game. Keeping the Potters kind of on edge there. We did line off on a couple times. The game really comes down to mistakes, right? The Potters kind of lost some runs on that triple play early on in the game, and then Eureka lost some runs on the overthrows. So at the end of the day, 2 good teams battled. This would be a great first-round regional matchup, or even a regional championship, depending on what happens with the seeding and going through all that. Curious to see what happens when we run back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there are good odds we're going to see this matchup again, but I think you said it perfectly. It looks like one that if you're a baseball fan, you want to see again. Final totals, and then we'll say goodbye for the Potters. As we said earlier, 3 runs on 8 hits for the Potters. No errors. They left 9 men on base. For the Hornets of Eureka, they scored no runs. They had 4 hits. They left 7 men on base. A really tremendous pitching performance by the Potters from Cam Crawford and Alex McKee. Just enough hitting. Great defense on both sides. Potters get the 3-0 win. Big thank you to everybody who joined us. Obviously, we had some tremendous fans who commented, Rusty Ballard, Coach Brandon Parrott, who were around through this entire thing. We thank everybody who tuned in and listened. It was a great night at Baseball Westwood Park. We hope you can join